like, what can you give me to promote my film? And then I write it down. I have like a list of things that I want from you. And then this is like a letter to Santa Claus. It's like, you shouldn't be ashamed of asking. Welcome to another episode of Film and Business. I'm Rosa Camero, your host, film producer, and CEO and founder of Ramiro AI, the first AI-powered film marketing and distribution assistant. With 17 years of experience in film marketing and distribution, we are not amateurs here. We know what we're talking about. In today's episode, we are diving into a topic that can truly change the trajectory of your film: promotions and collaborations. Whether you are an independent filmmaker or working with a team, knowing how to create smart partnerships and promotional strategies can be the difference between your film getting lost or reaching the right audience. This is the thing that I say to my clients and people that know me. And when I talk about marketing, use other people's audiences. This means it is difficult to grow an audience. It is difficult to reach out to all the people that might be able to watch your film or they might be interested. But if you partner with very specific brands and businesses, even government or embassies, you can have a really good marketing campaign. That's part of the marketing campaign. And also that's a way for you to maximize your visibility and your film. So what can you get from this episode? Promotions are storytelling extensions. Your film can resonate with brands and collaborators. And this is not only about posters or trailers. This is how you make your audience feel part of the journey. Collaborations are about share wins. Your film gets visibility while partners gain alignment, exposure, or credibility. In the end, this is also a negotiation with brands and businesses. The best result comes when you start early. Don't leave this for later. Don't leave marketing for, when I have the time, when I finish the film. It is already too late. So start as early as you can. It's never too early to start your marketing journey, either for your film or your production company. Technology, especially tools like Ramiro AI, can help you find your audience and partners much more efficient. This means if you don't have an idea where to find your audience, where to find the partners, what kind of partners can you reach out, Ramiro AI can help you with this task. So you're not alone. You have already a companion there that is affordable and is easy to use. So let's start with what promotions really mean in film. In distribution, I have to say that distribution and marketing, they are married. You cannot separate them. I mean, married, you can get a divorce. Distribution and marketing, they cannot, because that's the way you sell a film. So inside that distribution part, you have a little small department that is marketing, and you have someone that is in charge of promotions. So this means finding other brands and businesses and collaboration and exchanges in order for your film to get known. You wouldn't believe the kind of brands that I have close. And you don't need to be an expert to do this. You just need to be willing to actually make an exchange and reach to the people that is actually in charge of those departments. And I always say the films have an advantage that you have a film, and people like to work with films. It's like, it's fancy, it's like high ticket, it's exclusive. So you already have an advantage on your end. That is, you're working with films, that you are working with art that a lot of people have access to. So that's an advantage for you and your film. So promotions go beyond traditional posters and trailers. I already said that in the beginning. I will say it again. Marketing is more than only your marketing materials. This is about creating experiences and touch points that make your audience feel connected to your film. So, for example, The Blair Witch Project. That's a dream. I mean, that's a film that all people want to replicate the success story, because the Blair Witch was super. It was a cheap film, so the budget wasn't really big, and actually grows millions of dollars, like a hundred millions of dollars, and when the film costed like 100,000. So this film became a phenomenon by creating a promotional campaign that blurred the line between fiction and reality through early internet forums. I have to say that when I watched the Blair Witch, I was young. I wasn't working in the film industry. I was still living in my hometown in Mexico and North Mexico, and I thought it was for real. I really thought that that lady faced this witch and we didn't know what happened to her. And I remember people like social media wasn't like it is today, right now. I mean, it's not like people it's in live, it's a live event, and then you can see on like live that if that exists or not. I think before it was less immediate, of course, than now. And I remember you could read on media, people is looking for the girl, people is going into the woods and looking for the girl in the cabin, and they want to know if this witch exists. So there was actually a guerrilla marketing. I mean, it's very low budget, really low marketing budget, and yet people thought it was real. So for an indie filmmaker today, promotions can be as simply as sharing behind the scenes content, a TikTok trend with your actors, or early teasers that make people curious. Not only you sharing it, but you need other people to collaborate with. This means that you need maybe an influencer. Maybe you are reaching out to influencers. Who knows? Influencers, yes, nowadays it's a career and you need to pay for them. But there's other like micro influencers. They like to talk about films and they might be able to talk about your film. So if you know anyone with a interesting following, like 1,000 followers or above, then they might be able to talk about your film. And that's a collaboration. That means that you are using their audience to get more views and to get more visibility. Let's talk about the power of collaboration. Collaborations can extend to reach without blowing your budget. This means that it's a very good way for you to maximize your visibility and your marketing efforts without you spending a lot of money. So this means that you can make deals with brands, influencers, communities, you name it. I have even also done things with embassies and cultural events. We have done like collaborations with concerts. It is always a win-win situation. Normally in a collaboration, in a promotion, there's not money involved as such, but it is involved marketing. Okay, so if I get your film, what are you giving me in return? So if I give you my film, this is the right correct the way I have to say it. If I give you my film, what I am getting in return of giving you my film. This means that my film, of course, costed money, and if you're gonna do an screening, that's gonna cost me box office, because people's gonna come in for free. So that what is exchange? So what I did in my years of promoting and doing marketing for films, and I still do, and I still give this advice, and I still help filmmakers to get the best strategy around it, is like, what can you give me to promote my film? And then I write it down. I have like a list of things that I want from you, and then this is like a letter to Santa Claus. It's like, you shouldn't be ashamed of asking, like they actually show your trailer in their screens, because it's a bank. So let's say you want to do a promotion with a bank. Your film is about Wall Street maybe, and it can go really well with a bank, and maybe the bank already opened the door. They say yes, it's okay, we can do something about it, and you say, okay, I want you to screen my trailer in all your stores and all the banks around the country or in a region. And then we can do a cocktail, and then we can have maybe a red carpet. Maybe we can have one of the actors come in. We can have a signature, an event where the actors signed posters. There's many options from your side. What you can exchange, what you can give away, it's maybe a premiere, a cocktail, a red carpet, a signing with the main actor, the film crew. Is also depends It also depends of the quality of talent that you have, because if it's the actors are not very well known, they might not be interested. It could be maybe, but if you have someone famous, it's easier to sell it. And then by contract, if you're a filmmaker, you're a production company, you make sure that the actors are open to promote the film. So this means in their contract need to have like a period of time where they promote the film. This means that by contract they need to promote it, because if you have someone famous and then he or she is busy all the time, but it's like your best card for you to sell that film and is busy, then you're in trouble, because then you don't have anyone to sell. So if you have someone famous or interesting enough, you need to make sure that they are open to promote. Normally they know this is the way you need to do it, but it is always good for you to remind them that that's part of the deal. So what are the practical ways to promote through collaborations? So you already know that you find a collaborator. So you have a partner, that's your partner. You do an exchange, and the way you say is like clear communication. So you need to have really clear communication with them, and in writing. Remember, if you don't have a collaboration agreement, that's okay, but then everything needs to be on writing. So this means email. Okay, you talk on the phone, you say this and this and this, you make some decisions, and you put it on writing. So that way you protect yourself. Because if you're working with really big brands and they have said that they're gonna do something for you, and then in the end they don't do it, and then you give a little bit more, then it can get really, really bad. I have to tell you, from all these years working in film marketing, promotion, distribution, I have had like a very ugly situations where they say they were going to do something, and then in the end they are trying to blame me. And some people try to call my boss saying that I wasn't doing my job, and I knew I was doing my job. So you protect yourself when you can. So you don't know the kind of people you're working with. I know everyone is nice, and they always have the benefit of the doubt and thinking the best way possible out of the situation. But at the same time, you need to protect yourself. Like, have an agreement if you can. If you don't have an agreement, at least like write it down on email, so they know expectations out of the collaboration. Also, communicate with them. It's like, don't assume anything. Ask them, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we bring this? Can we do it from this to this? Because sometimes we assume that we can do it, and then you cannot. So you need to be really clear of the pros and cons of collaborating with that brand. An example that I can give you is a really big blockbuster I was promoting. I was in charge of promotion, and this soda brand, they were interested in having something special with the actor. So they were really eager into doing something with them. And they have a TV program, and they wanted to bring it into the TV program, and they were willing to fly him private. So that means that they were willing to hire a private jet, fly them over to where we were, and going back. So this was, I have to tell you, this deal was like around $600,000. And I was so excited, like, yes, we're gonna bring him, we want to have this, and and then what happened is the actor said no. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be related to this brand. And also, like, what they want me to do in the program is not like, that's not the line that I want to go for. So I was bummed. I was like, I can't believe that I lost a deal of around $600,000 because he didn't want to do what they asked, right? But that's the way it is. I mean, that's the way when you work with a talent and a brand, like they are like in the same, I don't know if the same status or, but it's like you think they're gonna say yes and then they say no and you don't know why, but like that's the way it is. You cannot assume anything because I could have said yes, we're closing the deal. I could have just closed the deal, do everything they want, and then the actor, no, I'm not going. I'm not doing it. Then the one in problem, the one that will be in problem, it's me. So that's why it's practical thing, communication, protecting yourself, having everything by writing. So as some examples of these collaborations, it can be co-branding campaigns. It can be a restaurant offering a movie night special tied to your film. So maybe they have like banners or they have like little things in the table where they see your film, maybe a poster. I did this with one of the most exclusive restaurants in one of the cities I lived, and it was like a romantic film, and we do it for Valentine's Day. So they enter into and we had it also in a newspaper. So the newspaper published this special night at the restaurant. Then they could win like a special dinner with the film. And then in the restaurant they had like little posters on sitting on the tables, and then with a QR code, so they could go and see what was the film about and then enter the promotion. And that's one of the ways that you can actually promote a romantic film, for example. It can also be like other kind of films, but this is an example of what I did with this film in a specific. You can have social media partnerships, this sharing content with other creators who already talk to your audience. And now Instagram has done it like really easy for us because you can ask for a collaboration with someone. It's not like they need to post and you need to post, and then it's like you need to mention each other, and like I think now social media is getting easier and easier to actually do create collaborations. You can have local events. You can have pop-up screening in unusual places like an art gallery or event outdoors. I have done this. I have done the art gallery, and I have done concerts, and I have done premieres in really big amusement parks. It's really fun. It's really nice. You really need to nail them into the promotion, because then the film get lost in the noise of all the things that are happening in whatever venue you are doing things. So it really needs to be like really honed in, and you really need to think about the strategy around it. And an example is La La Land. This is a promotion that I really like. They did it actually this promotion, I wasn't working with them anymore, but that was like the company I used to work in Mexico City, and they did a mosh pit. It's a mosh pit. It is a mosh pit. I don't remember, but it's like this activity where everyone starts dancing. So one start dancing, and then another one, and then another, and then suddenly like a lot of people dancing at the same time. And this was in a mall, and in a mall, a big mall in Mexico City, and outside the cinema. So that was really cool, and that was a collaboration between the mall, the cinema, and I think a brand, and also the film. That was super, super cool. And now we go to how to approach potential partners. So yes, Rosa, you're saying all these collaborations, they're really cool. You're having the contacts. I have to tell you, when I started doing promotions and when I started creating all these partnerships, I didn't have idea what I'm doing, and also I didn't have the contacts. So I approached them like cold emails, cold calls, like everything. Like now, thank God, social media exists, and LinkedIn, you can connect with people like very easy. I have to say that 15 years ago. So when you do that, you can write an email and you can have, so it's use a template. I mean, everyone use a template. Just make sure that you name them right. Don't make any mistakes of leaving any blanks or anything, because people take this very seriously. So write an email, tell them about your film, tell them that you want to collaborate with them. Don't give more details because you don't know if they're gonna say yes or no, but make them open to the conversation. Once they open to the conversation, you start discussing. Like, so you have maybe a coffee meeting, you talk, maybe they're interested, you're interested, and then you move on to the next steps. So don't try to do everything in one simple email, because people don't read long emails. They don't know you, they don't know who you are. So you need to open the door so they can be curious and they can start the conversation with you. And highlight the audience overlap. This means that their audience and your audience is similar, and that's why you offer your film. And make the best deal. Make the best deal. So what I would do is go into their website, see who is in charge of that department. Normally, collaborations and promotions, they are inside marketing department. Those are the ones who have the money to create this kind of promotions and partnership with other brands. So look for marketing, don't look for anyone else because they won't help you. And when you do that, then you start the conversation. You can use LinkedIn. You can send a message. First, you add them. You can send a message, and then you'll take it from there. You follow up if they don't answer. Be patient. Be super patient, because I know it can be it can be really frustrating when you're seeing that no one is answering you, and no one is engaging with you or like asking you more. So you don't need, you need 2 or 3 partners. You don't need like a lot. So you need to like figure out your sales funnel in the promotion side. Mistakes you need to avoid. It's waiting until your film is finished. You want to start promotion, you want to start these collaborations way before that. It's not only starting, but approaching, because approaching, talking, negotiating, that can take a while. And sometimes just the time flies. You and me know that time flies. Time can go really, really fast. So you want to be on top of things. So don't wait too long. Partnering with misaligned brands. Do your due diligence. Check the brands that you want to work with. And if you don't like the people working there, or you don't like the culture, or you notice things that it's not what you want for your film, it's okay to say no. It's very important that you work with people that you are aligned with, that the brand aligns with your film, and of course the values and why they stand for, because your film is also a brand. Just something that you have to remember. Like, maybe now you don't see it like it. It's just a film. It's just a product. Well, maybe you don't see it as a product. I see it as a product because I am a marketer. I am in the business side. But it is a brand. So you need to treat it really well. Forgetting the ROI. So sometimes maybe you measure something else, but you don't value each collaboration. So you don't measure the collaboration, and you don't see if there's a value. So it's like this, even when you don't see money in between these exchanges, it's about engagement, it's about collaboration, it's about followers, it's about, okay, I need to get the best out of it because I'm giving you my film. So both ends need to be happy with the exchange. How technology can support your efforts. And this is where Ramiro AI can help you. I have to mention it. And I have to tell you, Ramiro AI is already helping other filmmakers how to identify their audience, how to find potential partners, and design campaigns tailored to their goals. This means that you can replicate that too. This means that you can find your audience, find potential partners, and design tailored campaigns for your film. So instead of sending random emails, you can target collaborators who actually care. You can actually target brands that are aligned with your film, and this Ramiro can help you. It's like having a marketing strategy in your pocket. So you don't have the budget, but you know you need to do marketing for your film. Ramiro AI, it's the option. And now finishing this episode, promotions and collaborations aren't extra. They are essential parts of filmmaking if you want your work to be seen. This is the best way for you to get the best visibility without you having to get into the marketing all in, because I know you have so many things to do, and in the end, this is not your main task. Your main task is to make a film and be a creative. But as a creator and as a filmmaker, as a producer, having a production company, you need marketing to accompany your film. That's part of the deal. Like, yeah, I don't know why they don't teach this at school, but it's super, super important. So the earlier you start, the more natural and effective marketing become. This is like a muscle. You need to train it and train it and train it to get better and to get faster at marketing. And when you think of collaboration as shared storytelling, you unlock opportunities you never imagined. So here we are, ending another episode of Film and Business. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, share it with a filmmaker friend, and leave a comment with your biggest takeaway of this episode. And don't forget, you can learn more about how Ramiro AI can support your promotions and collaborations by visiting Ramiro.ai. I'm Rosa Camero, your host, and see you next time. Bye.